Determined to put your work in out there in the streets. Cause one, two, three niggas follow behind you and your foolishness. Don't really know what type of business you involved in. Just out here chasing, manipulating you to do some stupid shit that they themselves want to do. But they'll say, yo, young dumb ass, running through the streets at night. Mama and daddy been young before they know exactly how the game goes. Been running game on you young niggas for years. Taking all the risk equate to doing the bid. If you're lucky, the hospital bed. If not, your family will find you in a morgue in your body prep. Fucking off in these streets. Running through the streets at night. All right, y'all. We're gonna get into it today. Just give me a second to get my mind space together, because you know it's been a long day. Um, I hope I don't get in trouble with YouTube, but shit. I gotta smoke. It is what it is. So where I ended off on the other story was talking about how I was working at Art Farm, and move this closer so I can see y'all. Y'all can see me. So where I left off at was me talking about working at Art Farm platform, and so yeah, I was working at Art the Farmer. I was feeling a little bit incompetent, a little bit unsure of myself, and just wanted to try to, make up for the what I didn't know or what I thought I didn't know. And so I was watching the YouTube videos, and I had turned in a letter about the corporate culture of Art the Farmer Plasma. And when I turned the letter in, just so happens that the girl that was training me, um, well, I didn't know it at the time, but the girl that was training me was basically told to either turn in her 2 weeks notice or they was gonna fire her. They was giving her the option so that way she could still get her retirement money. Like, if you get fired, you can't pull out your retirement pension or your retirement money that you done saved up. If you put your 2 weeks notice in, you could basically take that money, out of the before you quit or whatever. So she had done did that. She put her 2 weeks notice in. I didn't know none of this at the time. I just thought she was leaving like everybody else was leaving. I wasn't really in the loop as far as communicating with everybody about everybody else's business. Cause like I said before, I'm not no mess ass bitch, and I don't worry about other people's business. I worry about my own. So in the process of all of this, like I was saying before, I had to start an OnlyFans page to make ends meet. I had done sold my other car. I had a 2016 Kia Forte, and at this point, I had basically traded that in and got a 2020 Kia Forte. And bitches was talking shit, bitches saying slick shit like, "Oh, I wouldn't dare buy a Kia." Like I give a fuck about any of that. It really is all stemming from jealousy. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to look at it like this. Like when I started this job, I was donating plasma. I basically begged these people for a job. You know what I'm saying? And in the midst of me begging them for a job, you got people there that have been working there for years, and they think they that bitch, and you know how people is, and when they see you elevating a little bit, people start to feel uncomfortable. Um, so bitches was uncomfortable. You know what I mean? And I didn't, like I said, I wasn't aware of all the shit that was being said behind the scenes because I don't pay attention to that shit. Like, I don't care about what a bitch say behind the scenes. So, um, just so happens that in the midst of everything, I also was looking for another job because I was not happy with being left on that floor by myself. I was not happy with, you know, the way shit was going. And I knew I was getting like paid lesser than everybody else out there, but I was doing more work than everybody else out there. So I was looking for another job. Um, so when the girl Nikki, who trained me, ended up putting her 2 weeks notice in, the girl Steph, which is one of her associates, I don't know how close they is. I just know they fuck with each other at work. But she ended up basically they went and found another position somewhere else. Like doing phlebotomy, but working at a clinic, like a little COVID clinic, and they do COVID testing and HIV testing. Now this is October of 2020, so stuff step to me, stuff say, won't you come and get tested or whatnot? Come to our new job, come to me and Nikki new spot. So I'm like, shit, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? I'll come out there. Like I didn't have no issue with it. I had been donating plasma for 2 years. I wasn't really fucking around like that. You know what I'm saying? Even though I was doing my OnlyFans page, I wasn't fucking. You know what I'm saying? Like, so with all of that being said, in the midst of everything, me and the dude who I had been fucking with and dealing with for the past like 4, 5 years, we was off and on, breaking up, back and forth, breaking up, back and forth, and you know, I hadn't got fed up with that shit, and I was like, fuck it. And the last time the nigga had stole some shit from me, which really was just solidified the fact that, oh yeah, I'm not finna go back to that. So, and all in all, I wasn't really focused on any of that shit. I was focused on trying to get me another job and still work the job that I had until I did get another job, because the main goal at hand was to pay these bills. Um, so that's what it was. Now, anyhow, so I ended up applying for a position at BioLife, which is another plasma facility. Um, Everything was looking on the up and up. They actually offered me the position. I was going through the whole hiring process. Had done turned in my 2 weeks notice, and as soon as I turned in my 2 weeks notice, that's when Steph had invited me to come and get tested or whatnot. Now the place that her and Nikki ended up working was a testing facility for COVID and HIV and ST, shit like that, like a little pop up COVID clinic, you know. So like they had literally just opened this motherfucker up. Um, so I was like, yeah, I'll come. They paying people $20. I can get tested. I know I'm straight. So fuck it, yeah, let's go, let's do it. So I went to my job interview, aced the job interview. They offered me the position. In the middle of all of that, October 26th, I got tested. I got tested for COVID. I got tested for HIV. I got my results. My 20-minute rapid results came in that day on the 26th. It was negative. Okay. When I came back on the 28th, everything was negative. All right. If y'all want to see those documents, it's on here. It's up. It's uploaded. Trust me. It's that 63-minute video. If you watch that 63-minute video all the way through, past all the dancing and all of that, if you get back to the end, like the last 30 minutes of that video is basically evidence and documents proving what I'm saying. I'm not making this shit up. I'm not like tripping. So time move on. You know what I'm saying? I end up not getting the job because my urine came back dirty for marijuana. So I was real polite with the people. They asked me like, "Oh, do you smoke? And if you do you have like a license?" I told the lady, I said, "I do smoke recreationally. I do not have a license for marijuana. And it is what it is. I was looking forward to working for this company. However, I understand your position. I understand that you got a job to do and you gotta, you know, follow the policies and the procedures." So with that being said, I wasn't really no sweat off my back. It was, but it wasn't. Either way, I was still looking for other jobs. Either way, I was already still working at the Farmer Plaza. So this was in August of 2020. I mean, it's October of 2020. October of 2020. So I had and basically turned in my 2 weeks notice already, but I went to Mr. Roby and basically retracted that 2 weeks notice. Okay, and told him, I didn't get the position. Um, and I still work here. So that shit was just, regular. Like I was still working, so on and so forth. I was still donating, but I hadn't been donating at Art the Farmer. I was donating at BioLife because they was paying me more to donate. So, one of the girls at work, she kept coming up to me asking me why I had stopped donating, why you stopped donating, why you stopped donating. And I explained to her, like, look, I ain't stopped donating. I just stopped donating here because they pay me more at BioLife. So it don't make sense to donate here for half of the money that I'm going to get at BioLife, you know? So whatever, whatnot. Now, December rolls around, okay? So when December rolls around, I'm still donating, right? I'm still working at Art the Farmer Plaza. I'm still doing my OnlyFans page. I'm making ends meet. Like I'm not fucked up because I'm still working. But this one particular day, one of the donors came in and she had that got snipping out like sideways with me once before. But this particular day, it wasn't nobody else in there to help her, so she had to let me help her. So I'm taking her down. And as I'm taking the needle out her arm, after I finish, sliding the needle out her vein, the bitch starts getting all irate. Um, Mr. Dirt, he comes on the floor, you know what I'm saying? And he's like trying to calm her down. And she doing all of this and all of that, but I still got the needle in my hand. So in the midst of everything, because she getting all irate and getting all like aggressive, I steps back. So when I step back, I end up sticking myself with the needle. I didn't know that I stuck myself with the needle because of the heightened aggression that was going on. I really didn't pay attention. I didn't feel it. I didn't notice it. So with that being said, I come home, relax, take me a bath. When I'm in the tub taking a bath, I notice like, oh shit, it's stinging on my fingertip. Like, you know how it stings when you be done cut yourself and you don't know, like you got a paper cut, the hot water sting you. So that's how I really noticed that I had done poked myself. It was after the fact when I got home. Um, Now the first thing that runs in my mind is I know I've been smoking weed. I just, lost this one job that I wanted because I got weed in my system. And I don't need to lose this job too. So I didn't, when I went back to work the next day, I didn't say nothing about nothing. I left that shit alone. Now, December the 11th rolls around. Now it's the date, really, it's December 12th. December the 12th is the day that I go to work, everybody acting weird. Like people who used to talk to me ain't saying nothing to me. People who never liked me is being nice to me. So I was feeling like, what the fuck is going on, right? Well, girl Tequila, she come up to me, she like, oh, once again, asking me why I stopped donating. So I'm like, I thought I told you, like, I was donating at BioLife. You know what I'm saying? Like, I red flagged this shit. Like, why the fuck does she keep coming up to me asking me about me donating? Now, I'm unaware of anything that's going on. I, finished doing my job, wrap that shit up. Well, at the same time, they telling me, Tequila tell me about a little party that Nikki, the girl that trained me, the ex, she used to work at Art the Farm Plasma, but now she's working at the clinic where I got tested at. And as a matter of fact, this is the same person who stuck the needle in my arm to procure the blood sample that they supposedly used in the lab test. Okay, when I came back negative. Now that was test was done on October 26th. This is December the 12th. Okay, so she like, oh yeah, we're going to a party. So I'm like, shit, I want to go to the party too or whatever. She's like, well, let me see if I can get you. Let me see. Now mind you, I ain't never been out with these people. We never hung out outside of work. They never invited me to anything. None of that. But this particular night, I'm going out with them. They have Nikki having a party to celebrate her birthday. So I end up, it ain't like I was really invited. It was more so like I was like, shit, I want to go to a party too. And with that being said, they was like, well, let me see. They contacted Nikki, asked her if it was cool if I came. And she said, yeah. So I'm like, bet. Now, as I'm getting ready to walk out the door that evening, and it's like 9, 10 o'clock or whatever, as I'm getting ready to walk out the door that evening, I see Miss Ranisha. I say, hey, Miss Ray, how you doing? She say, nah, baby, how you doing? So that's another red flag on the plate. Cause I'm like, what the fuck she mean? Nah, how I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? But I don't pay no attention to none of this shit really. This shit just roll off my back like duck to, like water to a duck. It just rolls off my back. So, cause they had been throwing shade anyways and saying little, doing little, all type of slick shit and messy shit. So I just really didn't feed into anything that was going on as far as the girl asking me why I stopped donating, as far as the other lady saying, oh nah, how you doing? When I spoke to her that evening, I go home. I come home, talk to my mama a little bit, ask her do she got something I could like, mix in with my clothes to try to like, spice my wardrobe up a little bit. Cause I hadn't been shopping, I hadn't been doing none of that shit. I had literally just been straight fucking working, trying to pay bills. So I go through her drawer, I find something I want to add with what I got, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, bet, this is what I'm going to wear. Now I'm focused on getting ready for this little party or this little outing that I'm going to. Now, as I'm focused on getting ready for that, I see envelope on my dresser or whatever, like, from BioLife. Now, when I see the envelope, the first thing I think about from BioLife is the job that I just lost, the job that they wanted to hire me for, but I lost because my urine was dirty. So that's the first thing I'm thinking about. I'm like, oh shit, they was so cool about, me having smoked marijuana recreationally, and it was really like, if you had a license, we would hire you. So I'm like, damn, maybe they changed their mind. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe they worked something out for me. You know, real naive, real green. You know what I'm saying? I'm not thinking nothing about no HIV. I'm not thinking nothing about anything. I'm not thinking about the needle stick. I'm not thinking about none of this. I'm just thinking about a job, securing a higher paying job that I can have more financial stability with and more financial freedom. I got $70,000 worth of student loan debt. At this point, all I'm really trying to do is make my ends meet and have a little bit extra left over so I can do other things too. Now, with all of that being said, I open the envelope, sitting right here on this bed. I open the envelope, and when I open the envelope, it's a letter that says, "We like to thank you for your plasmapheresis donation and your support of the plasmapheresis program. However, after reviewing, after laboratory results came back with one of your tests saying that you could be HIV positive." So now it's all hitting me as I'm looking at the letter and I'm reading it, and they telling me to go do a verification test and to see if maybe it could have been a possible false result. So I'm flabbergasted at this point. Like I'm sitting on my bed, thinking about the fact that, my mama HIV positive. I've been taking care of my mama at this point for the past 8 years. Well, at that point for the past 8 years, I had been taking care of my mama, watching her suffer through, dealing with taking the medication for HIV, dealing with the effects of the antivirals. Because of all of that, I had to even came up with a supplement mixture that actually helped, eliminate some of those side effects for my mama because that's my motherfucking mama and I don't want to see her in pain. That's how I came up with the solution, and then on top of the fact that I believe in the most high God and ain't none before and it ain't none after. You know what I mean? And all things are possible through God. So these are all the things that's floating through my mind looking at this paper saying that I might be HIV positive. I'm thinking about who I've been with. I'm thinking about the needle stick. I'm thinking about all of this shit sitting there now. Which, all of this shit had been completely was it was a non factor up until this point. So I take the letter, going there in my mama room. I hands her the letter. She say, "What the fuck? Didn't you just take a HIV test? Didn't it say you was negative?" I said, "Yeah, I'm just, you know, the moment is there. Like the moment is giving everything that it was supposed to give. Okay, I'm dumbfounded. My mama dumbfounded. We both sitting there, looking at each other crazy. I take the letter back from her. I come back in the room, in my room, and just kind of try to pull myself together. I decide that I gotta get the fuck out of this house. Like I gotta get the fuck out of here right quick. And so that's what I do. I decide I'm gonna get dressed. I'm gonna take my shower. I'm gonna get dressed, and I'm gonna go to this party, so that way I don't gotta sit in this bedroom by myself thinking about my life and how I got to this point. So when I go to the party, I notice that people is leaving the party as I'm coming in. I run into Nikki at the door. She like, oh hey, she happy as fuck, and I would assume that she's supposed to be. It's her birthday. You know what I'm saying? She's celebrating her birthday. Her old lady, the whole nine. Like, it's a birthday party. Bitch is supposed to be happy. You know, Steph and Tequila though, they sitting at the party looking stuck and cold when they see me. They like stiff as fuck. So I'm looking like, damn, you know, I already done red flag the fact that Tequila asked me about why I stopped donating that same night. I already done red flag Miss Ranisha saying, nah, baby, how you doing when I spoke to her that evening. I'm already feeling some type of way because my mama HIV positive. And on top of the fact that I just got this letter that says that I could possibly be HIV positive, I'm married to a nigga who done been in the penitentiary for the last past 10 fucking years. So all of this is floating through my head, but I'm really noticing their body language and how stiff they is. Now, I don't know that these people already know, but I'm feeling like they already know. And I'm aware that in the plasma industry, it don't matter which plasma center you donate at, if you come back with a positive HIV test or result, they notify all plasma centers in that vicinity, like in that area, in that city, like they notify, they got a database that's a nationwide database that basically has people's names in it, or information from donors who have had positive results, who have medical history that prevents them from donating, so on and so forth. It's a database, and all facilities have access to that one database. So I'm aware of the fact that, they notified them. Just like I got a letter, they got a letter. The only difference is I didn't get my letter until I got off work that evening. They got that letter before I got mine. So these people already knew that I was HIV positive the whole entire day. That's why people who had once been cool with me wasn't speaking to me, and people who once didn't never say shit to me was being nice to me. So I'm peeping a stiffness, and all of this is floating through my head, but I'm keeping a smile on my face. I'm trying to push my best face forward, you know, just trying to be cool about the shit. So it's not really on my face that I just got this news that I just got, but I noticed they being still. So, everybody getting ready to leave the party anyway. So I don't really have too much time to like look into why they doing what they doing. I don't even bring attention to the fact that they being real still. I just take my ass outside, tequila and stuff. They talking about, oh, how tequila gonna get home. I say, well, shit, I take tequila home. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't got no issue. I take her home. I really didn't want to just go home anyways because my mind was like a little bit of everywhere at this point. So I get in the car. I'm waiting on Tequila to get in the car. Tequila get in the car, and the first thing Tequila say is, "Oh, there go Michelle. Her boyfriend found out he had HIV at the Pharma Plasma, and they told everybody. Like they was telling people how that girl was getting sick off of her antiviral medications because she didn't have it. He had it. And so she started taking antiviral. Like she goes into this whole long, drawn out ass motherfucking spiel about how an ex phlebotomist who worked at Optipharma Plasma, her boyfriend was informed that he was in fact HIV positive, basically in the same way that I was informed that I was HIV positive. But because the people at Optipharma Plasma knew, they had to went around to the donors and the co-workers in the facility talking about this girl's status or talking about her boyfriend's status to everyone. Then they even went so far as to air out her business about the fact that she wasn't going to leave him. She was taking antivirals so that way she would not contract the virus. And Tequila is telling me all of this. Now, you could imagine my disbelief because one, I ain't mentioned or brought up nothing about this letter or HIV. And these are the first words that come out her mouth when we get in the car. I just know this bitch know. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't tripping. I ain't say nothing. I ain't get emotional. I was just fucking flabbergasted. Nigga, I was floored. Because what the fuck of a coincidence this is, and I'm a person that don't believe in coincidence. I am a realist. I believe if too many things link up, it's not a coincidence, it's a fucking conspiracy. So, because I think like this, while she running her mouth about this girl business and her boyfriend HIV status, I say, well, what about the boy? I mean, what about her? Do she got HIV? Because now I want to know, is it possible for two people that done been intimate with each other, one to end up HIV positive and another not to have it? Is it possible for you to still continue your relationship with somebody that is HIV positive and not contract it? So I'm asking about that because I'm thinking about my motherfucking husband who done been in prison for the last past 10 motherfucking years, and the fact that he just about to get out and I done fucked around and contracted HIV. So I ain't thinking about, I really don't give a fuck about these people talking about my business in this motherfucking plasma center. Like, that's not even what I'm worried about. However, I do take note of the fact that, yes, this bitch brought this shit up and I ain't say nothing about it. And it's just like too many coincidences for it to be real. It got to be a conspiracy going on. So I end up telling her about the letter that I read when I got home. Now, I'm crying, she crying. We in the car both crying about me being HIV positive and the way that I found out and the fact that she just brought this shit up. So I tell her everything about the letter, about how I got home, how I read the letter, how I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna tell my husband, how everything that's running through my mind at that point, I just divulge. You know, I didn't really give a fuck that I felt like she knew already prior to even me telling her. I really didn't give a fuck about the fact that that meant that these people at the job had done released my status to everyone else and didn't even have enough decency to pull me in the office and inform me. I hadn't been working there for over a year, and these motherfuckers didn't even feel the need to tell me, but everybody else knew. So I don't trip on that. I'm just trying to make it through the fucking night at this point. I'm just trying to make it through the night. I take her home. You know, she assured me like it's gonna be all right. You're gonna be okay. And just we cried together. I remember she asked me why I stopped donating at work that very night before I got home and read that letter. Miss Ray had done said, "Nah, baby, how you doing?" The people who I once got along with at work wouldn't even speak to me that day. The people who I never ever had any dealings with at work was being nice to me that day. I go to my mama. I'm like, Mom, you ain't gonna believe this shit. I tells her how Tequila brought up the HIV shit. I tells her how they did the boy that Tequila was talking about and how they did his girlfriend who actually worked at the plasma center and how I felt like they had done did the same thing to me. I felt at this point that yes, Tequila had prior knowledge of me being HIV positive before I had even been made aware of the fact that I was HIV positive. All in all, I'm really not worried about that, but I know I'm very fucking aware that these people have violated my HIPAA rights and my privacy. And instead of even having the decency to tell me they saw fit to run around that plasma center like fucking chickens with their heads cut off, clucking about my motherfucking business. But I ain't tripping. I'm trying to figure out if I'm really HIV positive or not. I'm trying to figure out how the fuck I'm gonna tell my husband. I'm trying to figure out how the fuck is it that you know about this. You done watched your mama deal with this disease. How the fuck did this even happen? You know, I'm thinking about the fact that I've only been with one person since taking that HIV test in October, and now here it is, December 45 exactly 45 days after taking that test, and now I'm HIV positive. I'm thinking about all of this. I'm thinking how I'm gonna tell my husband, how I'm gonna approach this nigga, cause now I feel like this nigga done slipped this shit to me. You know, I'm thinking about all of that shit. But I ain't giving a fuck about the gossip that's going on at work, the fact that they violated my HIPAA rights, the fact that they then exposed me to donors and people. Like, I ain't even thinking about that. So I come to terms with it. I read all of the pamphlets that they send me. I think about the needle stick, you know. I think about the fact that I had been feeling very bad, the prior weeks. I had my neck was bothering me, all my muscles was sore and achy. I was very cranky. I was moody, um, agitated easily. My all my glands, like my, you know, all of that shit though was like sore and achy, and this was something I had never felt like this before in my life as far as this pain in my neck. But I know I had back injuries and had them been into the hospital because I had got into a car accident. So I know I have prior injuries, but the type of pain I was experiencing was unlike anything I had ever experienced before. So sitting in this room by myself that evening after it was all said and done, I came to grips with myself. Like, yeah, you probably do have HIV, just like that's probably what's been going on with your muscles being sore the way they've been. Like I'm researching. So as I'm researching, I'm coming to grips with the fact that yeah, I probably am HIV positive. So I go and I tell my mama like, yeah, I think this little right, and it's Saturday or Friday evening. It's Friday evening. So I can't go to the clinic until Monday to confirm this. So at that point, all I was focused on was getting through the weekend. And I'm going to end the story here for the night. But I just want y'all to keep in mind that, if you have been recently diagnosed as being HIV positive, hold your head because it ain't the end of the road. Be strong for yourself. Be strong for those who are around you. If you feel like you mentally can't cope, reach out to somebody at your local clinic, at your local HIV testing facility. They have all type of information and documents and resources that you can take advantage of as far as mental health goes, as far as your physical health goes, as far as maintaining your viral load and your CD4 count. So that way you can still live a normal life or somewhat normal life. Yeah, you got to take a pill every day. But at the end of the day, you still alive. And the devil might have tried, and you might feel like at this moment he succeeded. However, you still got the breath of life in your body, and you got every reason to fight. Fight for your life, fight for your health, fight. Don't let this shit deter you. Don't let this shit knock you down. And don't let this shit make you look at yourself in no bad light. Those are the things that I told myself that evening. Go get on your medication, start your antivirals, reclaim your motherfucking life back. Because you can still live a life that is full of love, is full of happiness, is full of joy. You can still be you. It's just you're going to have to, you know, take care of your health. You're going to have to really focus on your health now. So if you have recently been diagnosed as HIV positive, man, just hold your head and remember that it's not the end. So I'm gonna end this live for tonight on that. Um, it don't take nothing to hit that subscribe button. So do your girl a favor and subscribe, like, comment, share. Tell your friends to subscribe, like, comment, share, cause I mean I am exposing my motherfucking soul to y'all, and it would be nice to feel like I'm having some support for doing so. I mean, it ain't like it's gonna hurt y'all or benefit y'all one way or the other. It's just the way to show support. Don't take nothing. Hit the subscribe button, and y'all be good. I'll probably be back in a little bit, but I kind of just need a little moment